Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So you can already see today's video is going to be my go-to sweat-proof summer makeup. So the weather in Ireland this summer has been quite warm, which is very different for us. We're not really used to warm summers, and also I'm not really used to wearing a full face of makeup in the heat like when I'm at home. So I didn't really have much experience wearing heavy full glam or like a full face during the day. So I had to kind of adjust my makeup routine, and I feel like I found a pretty foolproof makeup routine that's kind of sweat proof and summer proof as well. For my skin anyway, it definitely is, and I love the look of it. Like, I actually prefer how my makeup looks when I do this technique compared to when I have like full-on makeup at the moment. I just feel like it makes your skin look so much fresher because I'm not wearing any foundation, so my skin isn't as cakey and thick, but I still get the same coverage that I usually get. So that's why I love it. So if you'd like to see this makeup, then just keep on watching. Okay, so as you can very much tell at the moment, I have nothing on my skin bar my moisturizer. So the first product I reach for is my Catrice. This is the Light Correcting Serum Primer, and this is in the shade Sunlight. I think this is like my third bottle of this, I'm pretty sure. Obsessed with this product. So this is what I use to prime, and I actually use this to replace my foundation. So shake it up beforehand. It comes with a little dropper. I get mine in pennies and it's really inexpensive. I think I actually have no clue what the price is, maybe €6 or something. So I usually apply one drop here, one here on this side, and then also on my chin. Then I take my AYU foundation brush. This one is a little bit dirty, and then just blend it into my skin the same way that I would blend like any foundation. So because this is acting as my primer and my foundation, it obviously cuts the time of the makeup as well. This gives the skin such a nice glow. The shade I use, Sunlight, also is a little bit darker, so it kind of gives a bit of a tan to the face, which is what I like because I usually tan the rest of my body, and even if I do put fake tan on my face, it usually comes off from washing it and it's never as dark as the rest of me. So I actually appreciate the fact that it does kind of tan or add a bit of golden glow to your skin. So that is all I do. I just apply the 4 drops and then blend it in with my foundation brush. You can use your fingers as well if you want. I just prefer using this. I will say you don't need a lot with this product because you can see how shiny my face looks now. Applying too much, your face will look extremely glowy, which if you're into that, then go for it. But it's not really that wearable if you apply too much. Okay, next up I apply concealer, and I go for either the Catrice Liquid Camouflage Concealer in the shade 015 Honey, or else I use my Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer in the shade Light Warm. I'm going to use this one today because it is more affordable, and I absolutely love this concealer. Again, I pick it up in pennies. I definitely recommend it. I've gone through, I don't even know how many of these now, 5 or 6. So I apply my concealer the same way I usually do if I'm doing my makeup routine. Basically, everything else is going to be pretty much the same. I just take away my foundation, and by removing the foundation from my routine, that just makes my skin look so much better because it's not as heavy on the skin and looks less cakey. And then if you're wearing sunglasses or if you're sweating, it doesn't really affect the makeup. I look crazy right now. It doesn't really affect the makeup as much. I'm so used to seeing my face like this, I don't even flinch anymore. I also focus at the corner of my nose here because I find that that's where I usually get oily throughout the day, and it kind of lifts from there. Then I'm just going to take a damp beauty blender and blend all of this into the skin. The reason why I love this concealer, or else the Urban Decay one, is because they are really thin in consistency, so they're not cakey on the face even though I apply like nearly half the tub. They're not really heavy on the skin, especially if you're blending in with a beauty blender. I find that it kind of stops the cakiness even more. It really works the product into your face, so then it's not going to budge throughout the day. So next I'm going to move on to setting powder. So I usually go between the Laura Mercier Loose Translucent Powder, or else I use the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder. They're my two kind of go-to favorites. Today I'm going to use the Rimmel one because why not? So far we've just used drugstore products. So I take my damp beauty blender and then rub that around in the powder and use this to bake and set under my eyes. So doing the same thing and then applying the powder on this eye as well. So basically all the areas that I applied concealer is where I kind of tend to bake or really work in that powder with the beauty blender. So it does look a little bit crazy right now, and it does make my skin look quite light because I have a lot of powder on. Just bear with me. It does work. Then I just use a large face brush, any will do, and dip it once into the powder and just set the rest of my face. So basically the kind of perimeters of my face. I like to set my skin until I feel it properly set. Like when I rub my hands over it, it feels velvety and matte and not sticky. That just works best for me. I find that my makeup stays on so much better if my skin is set like that. Next, moving on to bronzer slash contour. I don't really use a strict contour shade purely because they're usually more of an ashy tone, and I just don't really like that look. I prefer more of a bronzy, warmer tone on the skin. So I just use a bronzer, and then by bronzing my skin and adding that into areas, it adds that kind of definition and contours to my face anyway. So I pick up the Anastasia contour kit. I'm pretty sure this is the Tan to Deep. I actually use this so much, it's completely gone off it. So these are the colors here, and for my bronzer, I pick up this one and this. And I just apply this in the areas that you always see me apply it. So my temple and forehead area, this is the area that I go to first. I just am obsessed with a nice bronze forehead. You can still kind of see the glow from that primer coming through. I just fucking love it. And then I go underneath my cheekbone, starting from my ear back here and then bringing it in, and then same on this side. So you want to kind of concentrate it just here, not too far down, and blend it up because it will lift your face. And then I always go along my jawline too. Then after I finish my bronzer, I'm gonna take my beauty blender. I'm not gonna add any more product to this because there's still actually a lot on it. And then I go from the corner of my mouth towards the corner of my ear, like this. And then whatever powder is left on that basically just kind of cleans up and sharpens your contour here. So it's kind of like baking, but just not too intense. And then I just take my powder brush and buff it out so there's not like too harsh lines. For my blush, purely because I'm just lazy, I go back into the Anastasia contour palette and I take up this peachy shade here. It's a matte shade. You can use any blush that you like. And then I literally just apply this here, here, and then on my nose. Okay, so next we are moving on to highlighter. This palette, again, it's drugstore. I'm obsessed with it. If you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen it, and it's the L'Oreal La Vie en Glow palette, and this is in the shade 01 Warm Glow. This is actually the highlighter palette that I brought to LA with me. These were the only ones I brought. That's how much I love this. I feel like the pigment is amazing, and I love all of the warmer gold colors, and they're not too intense, but they're not too subtle either. So the colors that I use for my cheek area is this one here, and then tiny amount of the bottom one because it is quite dark. So mostly just this one here. And then I actually apply it into my temple area. Not everyone does. I just like that look, and kind of above my eyebrow. And I find with my face, I can't bring my highlighter too far in because it just makes this area look really weird on me. So it's important to kind of do what suits your face, not just what you see someone else do, because I know a lot of people kind of tend to go crazy here with highlighter. I can't do that with my kind of bone structure in my face. It just looks really odd. So same on this side, and then whatever's left on the brush, I just whack that on the bridge of my nose. I'm actually going to do a little bit of this color and this, like I'm just tapping them really lightly and put them on the kind of Cupid's bow of my lip. So still using this highlighter palette, I'm going to take this shade with the lightest shade on my ring finger, and I'm going to use that for my inner corner highlight. So moving on to brows, I'm going to take my Anastasia clear brow gel and just brush them up. So the way I've been filling them in, I don't know if it's going to work as much today because they really need to be tinted and shaped, but I apply the clear brow gel first, let that dry, and then I just go in with a pencil and fill in all of the gaps. So we're going back into the contour kit. It's pretty much only a few products. I just kind of get lazy and use all of them for everything. And using a large fluffy brush like this, any large fluffy brush will do, I'm going to take this shade and this shade again and apply this all over the lid and into the crease. You really do not need to be perfect with this. I'm so quick and messy when I do it. I just whack the color on and it looks grand. Then using this Anastasia brush, because it is a slightly smaller fluffy brush, I'm gonna pick up the lightest bronze shade from the palette and then just blend that in under my eye. I also like to use whatever is left on the brush and then go underneath my bottom lip to kind of make it powderier. It creates like a little shadow just here and then makes your lip look powderier. And then a little bit underneath my nose because it kind of lifts your nose a little bit. Okay, moving back to the eyebrows. Now that that clear brow gel is set, I'm going to use my Anastasia Brow Wiz in the shade Soft Brown and hope and pray that this works out the way it usually does because my brows really need to be done. So basically my technique is to just fill in any gaps, and we don't speak when we do our brows, okay? Okay, so now that we are finally done with the eyebrows, I'm gonna move back onto my eyes. I just grab any brownish kind of eyeliner, whatever is nearest to me. So the one I'm using today is TheBalm Mr. Right in the shade Seymour Romance. And I only applied this to my upper waterline. So after I apply my eyeliner, I just like to curl my eyelashes. I never miss this step. So the mascara that I have been loving recently is the Stila Huge Extreme Lash Mascara. This is unbelievable, and I just apply a lot of this onto my lashes. Next, we're moving on to lips, and the lip liner that I usually use most days is the MAC Oh Honey lip liner. This one is just my favorite. So recently when I've been overdrawing my lips, I don't overdraw the whole border. I just have been overdrawing my Cupid's bow, that's it, and then filling my lips in as normal in these areas here. I actually got that tip from, I think, one of the Kardashians apps. Basically their makeup artist just overdraws here and underneath here to make it look more realistic and natural, and I'm overdrawing it in the same shape as my Cupid's bow, so I'm not creating a new shape or anything. I'm following my lip shape, just going over it. Instead of trying to straighten this area out or create it more arched or whatever, just follow your actual lip shape. And then finally, to finish off the lips, I use the MAC lipstick in the shade Stripped, and I only apply this in the center of my lips. Okay, I actually have a lot of lip product on my lips, so it's starting to kind of cake up, but we're just gonna leave it. So when I was doing my mascara, a bit of the mascara got on my eye, let that dry, and then just use your brush to kind of buff it away, and then usually it just flakes off. Okay, so finally, to finish off the makeup and to set it in place for the day, I'm gonna use the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. You know what's next. Okay, so that is the makeup finished. It's actually really quick. Obviously, when I'm not explaining each step, I can do this really quickly. This is my kind of natural makeup look. Obviously, it's not natural. I have makeup on my face. It's obvious. So I might actually zoom you up so you can see. So hopefully you can kind of see with a bit more definition what the skin looks like. So now really quickly, I'm going to show you what I do for my hair day to day. So just to talk you through my routine, what I do with my hair is obviously wash it, blow dry it, straighten it, then I'll clip in my extensions, and then I'll kind of add a bit of a wave with my extensions in my hair. This is my hair the day after. So when I wake up, my hair is usually a little bit crazy. So I'm going to show you how I just freshen up my second day hair. It still actually looks pretty all right. It just needs a little bit more something. So before I started doing my makeup, I clipped in my hair extensions. The ones I have in, as always, are the Foxy Locks seamless clip-in extensions. I only wear clip-ins, and in case you're new to my channel and you don't know, I've been wearing these ones for years. I highly recommend them. They're amazing. I go between two shades, Latte Blonde or Platinum Blonde. At the moment I actually have the Latte Blonde in, and I've toned mine with purple shampoo so they're more ashy. These here, I'm pretty sure that the 20 inch, I think it's the deluxe 20 inch. I'll leave all of the information down below so you can check it out, but they're definitely the 20 inch ones, and then I've got them cut up. So these are probably actually 18 inch in length, but if you're ordering from the website, they're the 20 inch extensions. So yeah, before I start doing my makeup, I clipped in the hair extensions, and I also applied a lot of hair oil. This is the one I'm using, the one from Gazoo, all over my hair, including in my hair extensions. Because these are human hair, you can apply oils, hairsprays, serums, whatever you want in them, because you can actually wash them out if product starts to get built up in them. So just to show you what I do to kind of freshen up my hairstyle, I'm just going to zoom you out. So I'm just going to take my GHD straightener, and then usually I just focus on this kind of area here. I don't really bother with the back because I don't see it, so it doesn't really annoy me if it looks a bit dodgy. So I take the front bits here and kind of twist it. This is what I've been doing recently. Probably makes absolutely no difference, but I feel like it does. And then literally just add in a bit of a wave. And then I do the exact same on the other side. I can do this so quickly now when I'm actually doing my hair. So, oh, that's a bit curly. If it is too curly, I just straighten it out like that. I love when the hair is waved, but the end bits are straight. That kind of like beachy, effortless hair, even though you spent ages doing it. And then usually I'll add a little bit in here. I don't know why, it's always this piece of hair here. So this is my extension with my hair too. And then I'll leave out the end bits so they're straight, and I just kind of eyeball it and see which pieces need like a bit of wave or definition to them. Okay, so I think that's enough. I'm not going to do too much. Like I said, I did curl it yesterday, so there's a little bit of style in it. Just turning it off, very important. Then I'm going to take more of my hair oil. That looks like a lot, it is a lot, but I've quite thick hair. And I actually have noticed a difference from using this so much in my hair, and it also adds such a nice shine. So I literally just run it, warm it up in my hands, and then run it through my hair. I basically focus this from about here downwards, but also in my front bits too. So I find the front bits of my hair are so dry from colouring. So this is the finished hair and makeup look. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please give the video a big thumbs up because it really does help me out and I really do appreciate it when you do like the video. And if you haven't already, then feel free to subscribe to my channel to keep up with all of my videos. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching and I'll see you all in my next one. Bye!